Hey, Tony Gaskins here, checking in. Now, y'all got to forgive me. I'm still in my half-finished office, so y'all forgive my background. Those ain't my office chairs. They just kind of taking up some space right now, storing them in here. But I got enough space to film, so I wanted to pop in. I didn't get to do a video the last 2 days, but today I was looking and I saw the words "Black Love" trending on Twitter. And as I was looking at it, I saw that it was kind of talking about colorism. And it's so much that goes into that. And I want to be able to share from one person's perspective, myself as a black man, but being a relationship coach and being a former matchmaker. Because of a relationship coach, I kind of was thrust into matchmaking, and then also celebrity matchmaking, being a celebrity life coach. So I kind of had my hand in the mix of things. Now, my wife, she's lighter than me by a couple shades, and she's probably a shade darker than my mother. And my mother got her color, I'm guessing, from her father. I never met him. I've never seen him to my knowledge. But she got her color from her father because my grandmother is a couple shades darker than me. And I say that to say, you see kind of how color works. Like, it's some women who have produced three different kids of three different shades. And I think sometimes we go into this colorism thing with so much vitriol, with so much self-hate, with so much anger, with so much pain, and we forget why color even matters. It only matters because of the powers that be. The powers that be who have used color to divide the people. Because if you are unified and if you love yourself, you cannot be controlled. And that's what a lot of people don't understand, because we deal with our own self-hate, and men and women alike. I remember I met my wife on accident. I was not looking for a woman of her complexion, because I was in a serious relationship before my wife with a woman who is a shade darker than me. A 2-year relationship, which was kind of an engagement. We were engaged, but not really engaged, because I used to ask everybody to marry me after 2 weeks because I was a grown boy, and that's just what grown boys do. But with some of them, my strand of grown boy that I was. So when I met my wife, y'all gotta forgive me, I got an ice pack on my back. It was by accident, and I was just looking to sleep around. I was hurting. Had a soul tie. I was looking to just take the edge off. So I was just looking to sleep around. And I was not looking to do that with any particular race or what have you. I thought my wife was Puerto Rican. Properly said Puerto Rican. My grandma pronounced it Puerto Rican. I thought my wife was Puerto Rican. Come to find out, she Jamaican. Properly said Jamaican. My grandma called it Jamaican. So I thought she was Puerto Rican. Find out she Jamaican. But here's the thing. Her mom is like a shade darker than me. Her dad is a few shades lighter than me, but he looks like an Indian man because his ancestors are from India. And I'm guessing they were brought to Jamaica for slavery or migration. I don't know the history. And so her dad is Indian, of Indian descent. Her mom is of African descent. So therefore, that produces my wife's complexion. So now me, coming from the South, born in Florida, I'm not born in Florida, I'm born in Texas, raised in Florida. My parents born in Florida. I was born in Texas because my dad was in the Army. We really don't know what's in us because we come from slavery. So a few generations back, it's most likely some white in there. And that's why my dad's hair is so soft and so thin, because it's not just a typical mixture of genes in the gene pool. And then my sister, who is my color, she has soft, long hair that literally comes to her butt. like maybe sometimes what you see in the Native Americans, like the Indian culture, the Native Americans. It's not typical for me to see women who have my sister's complexion have hair to their butt. And so it led me to believe that there may be something in her gene pool that gives her hair a different texture. So we don't even know what we mixed with. Ancestry.com, they just taking your money. They can't tell you nothing off no spit. So I sign up Ancestry.com. Ancestry.com tells me I'm 56%, my roots is 56% Nigerian and 35% Cameroonian. So I know we all come from Africa now, so I believe it. But the thing is we don't really know where the color was mixed and dabbed and hint and this and that. But what happens is we take, and this is by design. This is by design. This is what you got to understand. This is why so many black women are angry with black men, because they see black men with women who don't look like them. That is by design. So the powers that be said, I'm going to put you in bondage, put you in slavery. I'm going to rip you apart. I'm going to sell the dad to this plantation, the mom to that plantation, the teenage daughter to that plantation. And before all that happened, I'm going to bring your daddy right here, put him over this wood, spread his legs, and have Big Bubba punish him in front of you. So now as a woman, you're not going to respect him. You're not going to love him. You're not going to feel like he's your protector. I'm going to take and just tear him apart. And then I'm going to break this family up. So now y'all going to hate each other. You're going to be angry with each other. You're going to be mad with each other. And it's all by design. And then the next thing what we know, you know what? Because we're racist, the powers that be, we're going to take and the light-skinned blacks, we're going to give them the house job in the air condition or by the fan. Let them do the cooking. Let them, come in the house. After slavery, now we're going to give them the job because they have white or Creole or mixed with French or Italian or European, some kind of mix, but they're a little lighter. So they're not that dark. So let's give them a job. So now everybody with rich brown skin, and when I say rich, I mean extra doses, a lot of doses of melanin. Everybody with rich brown skin getting the short end of the stick. And if you just got, just a little drop of melanin, now you being advanced through society and you climbing the ranks. So just like how we see Barack Obama, he was of African descent. His dad was not born in America. His mom was a white woman from Hawaii. So guess what? There was a lot of racism that said, oh, we'll take this because he's not, this ain't Kunta Kinte grandson. This a little different. We could deal with this. Now you look at Kamala Harris. She Indian, both, and then dad is black Jamaican. But just that dose of Indian gives her a lighter skin color. So although it's still a lot of people mad with her, it's like, we could do this. But black daddy in America, black mama in America, both descendants of American slavery, America said, we ain't ready for that. Not yet, not in 2020. You're a little different if your parents come from other countries. We a little afraid to put a black American who parents come from slavery We don't know what they're going to be legislating when they get in the house. You see what I'm saying? But we not thinking about this. But yet we'll go in and we'll nitpick. We'll nitpick. Oh, that person ain't real black. Oh, that person ain't real black. Oh, that person ain't this. Oh, that person ain't that. And you have black women angry with black men because so many black men have chosen white women, Hispanic women, or a lighter skinned woman. And so now the woman who is a black woman, which black could come in several different colors, but a woman who is of a darker complexion, she has been made already to feel less than by the system, by the world, in every part of the world. Skin lightening cream is a big thing, even in Africa, and it's in America. And so people trying to get lighter if they darker, and if they lighter like white, they trying to get darker. But yet the powers that be has made those who naturally have several doses of melanin hate their skin. And I'm gonna tell you, it's two sides to this colorism thing. Now, when I listen to it, because I've had black men tell me, I want a woman, she got to be light skinned. She got to be light skinned. But when I listen to it, it's self-hate. He's never been told that he's worthy. He's never been told that his skin is beautiful, that his skin is amazing. He's never been told that he's blessed, that he's worthy. But what he has seen is he has seen lighter people get advantages in life. And a lot of people who are lighter don't believe there are advantages or don't want to hear anything about it. And the reason why is because I get it. They don't want to take on the hate and vitriol from people who are of a darker complexion because they never asked to be lighter. Now, if a person goes out and seeks out someone of a certain complexion so that they can reproduce a child of a certain color, then that's totally different. But the child who comes in had nothing to do with their makeup, with their color, or with their parents falling in love, or with their parents self-hate, or with their parents self-love. Because to be with someone of another race isn't always self-hate. Sometimes it's just happenstance. Sometimes you just meet someone and love is found, and that's where we get the term love is blind. But see, love ain't really blind. We can see clearly. We can see clearly. And a lot of people are not going to get on a video and really articulate their heart. When I met my wife, I was just looking for a one-night stand. And I thought, hey, she'll do. She'll do. I can't remember. I'm thinking as a grown boy, I can't remember having no one-night stand with no Puerto Rican now. Come to find out. So first, when I found out she was wife material, I'm going to tell you the honest truth what went through my head. When she said, I'm not Puerto Rican, I'm Jamaican. I'm like, oh, you Jamaican? Now, where I grew up, I only saw one type of Jamaican. And that was a brown skin, a dark skinned person. I had only seen one type of Jamaican. Why? Because I'm not from Jamaica. And where I grew up in Florida, there was just one. You didn't see Chinese Jamaican, Indian Jamaican, white Jamaican that Jamaicans know of because you live in Jamaica, because you Jamaica. Of course you're going to know it's all different colors. I knew we had Jamaicans, we had Haitians, we had Mexicans. We really didn't have many Asians. I really don't remember any Asians. We had whites and we had black Americans. But all of the Haitians was one skin complexion. Never seen, me growing up, did not know there were light skinned Haitians, white Haitians, different color Haitian, and Jamaican, same thing. Did not know there were black Dominicans and black Puerto Ricans and people of color, black people in these different islands. Did not know that. And that's what the thing is that we come into a world that everybody expect everybody to know everything. and to know every other race, history and culture and everything, and then want to call people ignorant because they don't know. Everybody not privy to your life history, to your lineage, to where you come from. So I don't expect everybody to understand the mindset of a black man from the South, a black American from the South. I don't expect everybody to understand how we could be so jaded and how we could see the world in one way, because you didn't go to your middle school and see Ku Klux Klan. You didn't have a white friend who dad told your dad that y'all can't be friends. You didn't have that. So if you didn't go through that, you don't understand the mindset of that. And so this is what we have going on. The powers that be is puppet mastery. The way they got everybody doing what they want to do, and they determine who's going to hate themselves and who's going to love themselves. And the reason how is who you give representation to in the movies and the media. So if you are brown skinned, or if you are black, and when I say, now look, this bookshelf right here is a color of brown. This logo on the wall is a color of brown. You see what I'm saying? This remote is a shade of black. This coaster is a shade of black. You see what I mean? This little stand is a shade of brown. This mic is a shade of black. I am a shade of brown and black. You see, you come in all different colors, but the powers that be determine who gonna love themselves and who gonna hate themselves. So here's the thing, what I see with a lot of black men is this light right here in my face. It's gonna go out, so y'all got to forgive me. What I see with a lot of black men is two things. See, it get real bright, then it's gonna cut off, but it's dead. I need to charge, y'all forgive me. So the light finna be a little bad in here now. Okay, let me open these here wonders. Hey, I got a back brace on now, y'all forgive me. Got my back brace on. So now, not a back brace, I got an ice pack on my back. So now, understand this right here. I see two things. And to be honest with you, it's a lot more innocent than I think a lot of people understand. And when I say innocent, I mean that innocence can come from ignorance. And so one thing that a lot of black men don't realize is that they've been made to hate their skin color based on the lack of representation. Black is not beautiful unless the media says black is beautiful. Black is beautiful. That's understood, right? But we believe what the media tells us. So when they used to do the little studies and they show you on the news, and they had a little black girl, and they had the dolls, and they had the light-skinned doll, and they had a white doll, and they have the dark-skinned doll, and they asked the little black girl, which one of these dolls do you think is the prettiest? And she pointed to the white doll. Why that baby did that? Why did the baby do that? So what you got to realize is that little girl that did that, the little boy did the same thing. The little boy grew up to be a man. So it's not that he don't like black women. He subconsciously feel like the world hate black women. And that the world hate the black skin color, not black women, that the world hate the black skin color. So he want to go with a different color because it's going to make him feel different, going to make him feel better, going to make him feel like he's choosing somebody from a winning circle so that his kids can have a better chance at success and at life. You see what I'm saying? And it's subconscious. And to be honest with you, that black woman, the black woman that he overlooked, he's secretly lusting after her. He want to lick her from head to toe. But see, when you live in the world, now listen to me. It's so much I'm saying right now that's going to hurt. That's going to make you want to argue. But hear what I'm telling you before you start to argue, because I'm not excusing the choice. I'm explaining the choice. But this is what you got to realize. You see people survive. Everybody you know will do anything to survive. So this man, when he is choosing, these men that have chosen like this, Let me tell you why they chose like that. They chose like that because they felt less than. They felt like their race was less than. And when I say chose like this, I'm saying like 7 out of 10. Because you got 3 out of the 10 who just met a woman of another complexion or of another race and they hit it off. And it was not his agenda to go find a woman of that complexion or of that race or nationality. Just hit it off. I've honestly talked to a white man who is single and looking for a wife, and he said, I want an Asian woman. Why he wants an Asian woman? I do not know. He said, I want an Asian woman who is very smart and very successful. And in my head, I was like, why you don't want a white woman? Why you want an Asian woman? But I didn't get too deep into it. So it's not just black men. It's men of other races. It's some white men who want them a black woman and will not date anything other than a black woman. So what you got to understand is, for one, this just men. And then 2, what you got to realize is that a lot of the men making choices based on ignorance, innocence, or self-hate. Now that last one is a stereotype, or they making a choice based on a stereotype. Let's say this man goes into places of service like massage parlors, nail salons, and he sees predominantly Asians. He could start to see Asian women as a subservient culture. And he could desire an Asian woman because he feels like he can control her and she's going to cater to him, and that she was raised to cater to a man, and that she was raised in America to think that a white man in America is a prize. And there's a lot of Asian women who do honestly believe that. Might not be in my following, might voice a different opinion of that in the comments, and everybody gonna holler when they toes stepped on. And that's why I stopped caring about who toes I'm stepping on with my truth, because it's gonna be for who it's for. And what this video is for, this video is to liberate the black women who feel like you have been overlooked and who feel like you are not loved. Let me tell you this right here. You loved. You loved. You are desired. And your time gonna come. The Bible says the first shall be last and the last shall be first. And when your time comes for your husband, you gonna reign in the sun. In the sun. You're gonna be shining. You're gonna be balling. You're gonna be so happy. Your time gonna come. But what you have to realize is it has nothing to do with you. You're not less than. You're not ugly. You're not unattractive. It's the evils that has been placed in this world. It's the powers that be who fear the power of your race and of your melanin. Fear you because they do not understand you. So they use the power and the position to debase you, to make your men feel like crap, and to make them feel like if they procreate with you, they will be in a losing equation, that they will be in a failing situation, and their children will be taken by the police in the street for their skin color, that their children will not get jobs, that they will be at the bottom of the totem pole, and that their lineage will suffer because of their skin color. So these men subconsciously make a decision and try to advance their family and advance their lineage because they've been made to feel so worthless that they feel if they marry a woman of another race and they have children, they're going to have a better advantage at life. They've also And see, this is not a blanket statement. It's not one size fit all. It's nuances in here. It's a lot of caveats and nuances, and it's different strands. It's different types of reasoning behind this. This ain't one size fits all. Understand that right there. Sometimes I got to spell that out for people. You'll think that'll be common sense, but it ain't. It is not. Common sense ain't common. And so that's what you have a lot of men doing. This the other thing that I see. This the other thing. And I'm trying to articulate all this because see, it ain't many men that has ever even articulated this without hate in their heart. So I'm speaking from a place of love. This the other thing that you're gonna see with these black men is you will have black men who look down on black women because of the things that black women have been placed in and cause suffering. So blacks coming from slavery and then segregation and separated and not equal and then integrated and still not equal, a lot of black people come from poverty. A lot of black people come from second-rate education. So therefore, you have a lot of black women in the inner cities where you're going to have slang and dialect. You're going to have parents overworked and underpaid. So you're going to have kids raising kids. So now all of the vices from the parents are passed down to those children. So these children in the inner city are having sex at the age of 8 and 9 because their parents are away working or scamming or hustling or dancing or doing whatever they have to do to survive in a country that is not set up for people of color to succeed. So therefore, the children raise themselves. So then you have this section of black men who may have come through a lineage of people where his family is more advantaged. And it could have started with the great, 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 great grandfather or grandmother being the favorite of the slave master, and then being given land, and then being allowed to go and get an education. And then it goes down. So now this black family can read, can write, has land, has opportunity. So they start to identify more with the white race than the black race, who majorly is kept in poverty and lack. So this black man, who now is well spoken, was raised in a good neighborhood, got a decent education, who has been allowed to get the playbook of white America, so he understands money and materialism and the traps of materialism. He understands wealth versus rich, versus new money versus old money. And he sees the world as a place for him. He sees America as a place for him to grow, or whatever country it is, as a place that he can succeed if he gets with a woman who is more like him. And he may not be in a city where he meets many women of his color that think like him and talk like him. And because of his lineage, his family history, he actually is proper and dresses different. And so while we were wearing, what you call them? I can't remember the name of them jeans. I can't remember the name of them jeans. While we was in the baggy jeans, the Red Robins or whatever, he was wearing Express clothing. Express men's that's in the mall. He was wearing Express. And we was wearing the baggy jeans, the Echo, the T.I. clothing line, Jay-Z clothing line. And he was wearing Express, which was worn by predominantly white or Asian people. And so when he goes to the majority of the black women that he knows, they have a thick accent, a slang from the inner city. And he is talking like this. He speaks very proper, and he can, speak without any slang. And you can't tell if he's from the Bronx, or if he's from Brooklyn, or if he's from Pahokee, Florida, or Tyler, Texas, because he was raised to read books, and that leaders are readers. And so he speaks very proper. You see what I'm saying? I can't even fake talk proper because of how I was raised, because of where I was raised. Ain't wasn't no reading. Only thing you gonna read is the Holy Bible. Ain't had no books. Ain't had to read no books. I ain't read a single book my entire education from kindergarten through 12th grade. Not a single book. Because that's where I'm from, in the South. They didn't care about black people education. Here you go. Here go this C or this B. Go on to the next grade. You don't know nothing. So if you don't learn how to go to the library, you don't learn that readers are leaders, leaders are readers, reading is fundamental, you're missing all that. But there are families of color who they raised their child in a way that they were separated from the poverty, from the pain, from the realization that you are black in America. They were separated from that, and they started to identify more with the white race. And so when they go to choose a wife, he honestly is choosing a white woman because he has more in common with her than he has in common with the sister who come from the apartments, the projects, the Section 8, the government cheese. And now you're going to have some people that's in there, government cheese, Section 8, that they get an education and that their parents know that they need to read. But then some of them people still grow up and come from Section 8 and start to feel distant from the inner city blacks who did not read, did not get a proper education, was hustling, was scamming, was finding other ways to get ahead. Like right now, it's so many people right now who come from nothing that's scamming right now on the SBA loans. And it's like, you got all the ingenuity in the world that you right now defrauding the government of hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars. And you really ain't defrauding the government because they done defrauded you, but yeah, you defrauding the government because it's still a crime. But it's like, they don't even have, I'm looking at the scammers and I'm like, they don't have the wherewithal, the upbringing to say, use that ingenuity to start a legal business and make it boom. Be legal and boom. But they've been taught, do what you gotta do to get ahead because this country don't love you. But guess what? Although that may be true, this country still will put you in prison. So whether you right, they might not love you, they don't love you. But what they gonna do is when you get caught, they gonna throw the book at you. My uncle doing 40 years in prison for $20 worth of drugs. $10 worth of cocaine, $10 worth of weed. He doing 40 years. Yeah, I read the transcript of the court transcript, and the police officer testified that my uncle sold him $20 worth of drug, 10 of white, 10 of green, and he doing 40 years. This Florida, this Polk County, where I'm from, they threw the book at him. They don't care nothing about you. They don't care nothing about you. And so guess what? This is what a lot of black people are seeing. And this is where colorism comes into play. Because you saw certain people of certain complexions, whether that's light-skinned black or whether that's white or whether that's Asian, you saw complexions that did not look like yours get advantages, get advancements, get opportunities. We saw Michelle Obama as the president's wife. But when you see that right there, running for president, that's gonna have a different implication. And yeah, you know, we don't want to say that, but a black Jamaican mentality, like, is totally different than a black American. Even if the black Jamaican come from slavery, family comes from slavery in Jamaica, the mindset is still different. A black African, a black person from Africa, because not everybody who is African is black, but a black African mindset on average is totally different than a black American. And so there's a difference. So when we look into this colorism, there's a specific lineage of people that America has disproportionately taken advantage of and has institutionally and systemically attacked this particular type of person, and that is a black American. And the reason being is because a country fears. A country will fear when the oppressed become the ruler. Think on this now. So see, when you come from another country into America, you will notice that a lot of those people who come from other countries into America, regardless of their skin color, they're not mad at America. They're not mad at white America because they came here as the land of dreams. But the blacks who were born here got a whole different taste in their mouth for America. And a lot of times we don't admit that. And we not honest with that, because there's people of color who will come to America and they will side with white America and look down on black America and call black America trash and ghetto and worthless and useless and lazy and sorry, and will call us that. I've even heard it in conversation. I heard it in conversation. Even when my wife described the difference between the Jamaican mentality and the black American mentality, I've had to tell her so many times, I've had to tell her, like, I hear what you're saying, and that's the truth of what you're saying, but what you got to realize is what black America has come through in America. We come from being slaves in America. So we were started 100 meters behind the starting line in a 100-meter race. And although we were 100 meters behind, they still broke our legs and said, beat us to the finish. But they will open the borders and they will let people who look like us come from other countries, and they will actually give you more opportunity and advantage. They will actually not see you the same way. You may not realize it because you are dealing with your own self-talk. But if somebody on the outside looking in, I watch this at my job. I watch this at my job. And when me and my wife was working at my job, now my wife is intelligent. She's real smart, but you don't know that just by talking to her, like, because she talked just like, you know, anybody else. But I remember my wife came to the job, and I was at the job making $8.50 an hour. No, $9.50 an hour. And there was a girl, another woman at the job. There was 2 other women at the job who were black American women. And my wife was she a lighter complexion than both of them. And my wife was a biomedical science major. And these 2 black American women They were psychology majors, and the position was called behavior specialist. The boss was a white woman. She took and promoted my wife over them two other women, Black American women, who were darker than her, and one of the black women was dark skinned. The other one was kind of around my complexion. And she didn't see my wife do a written test. She didn't test her, but it was her, the white woman, it was her bias toward lighter skinned women, lighter skinned black people. And my wife immediately in this job, with no qualification for the position, was given a position and paid $13.50 an hour. I had already been on the job. My wife didn't have a degree. And I remember the other woman saying, that ain't even fair. I'm a psychology major. This is my job. I'm here to do the behavior science, the behavior specialist job. And you got the job that I'm qualified for, and you a biomedical science major. How did that happen? And my wife was like, I don't know. I didn't even ask for this. And see, that's the other part of it. Is we hating, and I'm saying we just not to be talking down to the people that's hating, but we hating people who are mixed or lighter complected, and they didn't even ask for the privileges they've been given. But the people in power are giving those privileges to make those who are darker hate themselves more. Because if you hate yourself, you cannot produce. If you hate yourself, you can produce, but not to your fullest potential, because you're operating from self-hate. And then you're operating from anger. And so, I have not seen this, but maybe one day, and maybe it's somewhere on YouTube, that there are people, I've seen some white people kind of coming out and talking about white privilege. I have not seen, but I have not searched for it, a lighter complected person talking about their privilege or an advantage that they noticed that they got over people who were darker skinned. I do see a lot of people of a lighter complexion being picked on, talked about, berated for their skin color. And I've talked to my wife about that, which she not all that light, but she light enough. And she talked to me about being, picked on by women who were of a darker complexion than her. And it was because the guys were giving her attention instead of the darker complected women, the boys in high school. Now, this is the other thing that I want y'all to understand on for the innocent side of it. Because remember I said innocent, ignorant, and self-hating. Innocence, ignorance, and self-hating. Self-hatred, whichever you want to call it. There are men. See, men, if you've raised a son, you may have noticed with your son that males get bored easy. Males like variety. And I'm not sure how women are with this. If you're a woman, it could be the same way. But I can't speak for a woman. I'm a man. But men get bored easy. So a perfect example. I got an old school. I got a 1972 Chevelle. And I'll probably show it to y'all one day. And it don't cost that much. And I'm already looking for another car. And I cannot understand that for the life of me. I'm content. I love it. I was talking to one of my clients the other day. He just got an old school. He got an old school. He done dumped a lot of money into it. He has not even driven it yet. And he ready for another old school. He looking for another old school. Now he's being faithful to his wife. I'm faithful to my wife. So it's like a lot of men just cheat on their woman. A lot of men cheat on their woman. It's for that same shortage. It's that same shortage. Ignorance, immaturity, impatience, get bored easy. And so I'm going to tell you this right here. The part where you see a lot of men choosing women of another race or another color, it's honestly because he has lived with his complexion all his life. He is very intrigued about the life and the mindset and the experiences of someone of a different complexion. It's literally, he doesn't like looking himself in the mirror anymore. He's so accustomed to his complexion, whatever it may be, white, it could be white or it could be black, that he wants a woman of a different complexion. He wants a woman of a different culture, of a different experience, because there is strength in differences. And that is honestly what a lot of men are doing. They just going to somebody that look the opposite of them. And that's why the term opposites attract. It's a lot of white women who are infatuated with black men. And for the most part, it's because they're so accustomed and used to white men that a black man look like an art display in a museum. It's a lot of white women who was raised in a predominantly white area and did not see a black man until high school or college. And when she laid eyes on the beauty that she feels is a black man, she lost her mind. When she have been around men who are descendants of Europe and Ireland and Iceland and Greenland and Dutch and Germany, and she's been looking at rounded off muscles. When I say rounded off, meaning she's been looking at either stomachs or just like a little flat stomach. And then she bump into a man of African descent, and his abs look like a washboard, and his muscles chiseled, look like God just. She's sitting there like, oh my goodness. Oh, Jerome, oh my goodness, you're back. I remember being at my white friend's house playing basketball, and it was shirts versus skins, and I had my shirt off. And I remember a white woman, my mama age, she came up to the gate. We on the court, she at the gate. I'm standing by the gate. We on a timeout, we on a little break in between game. She said, you know, when I was in college, I dated a black guy who had a back just like yours. Just all of those chisels and muscles. I was like, ma'am, I'm thinking in my head, ma'am, I'm a minor. I'm 16. You my mama age, and you out here lusting at me. Now, when we became adults, I later had black friends who actually my age end up sleeping with that white woman who was our mother's age. And that white woman was married, but was so infatuated with black men. So see, a lot of time we just don't realize that it's kind of like familiarity breeds contempt. So sometimes it's not even a fair fight, because when you grow up around something, you get so used to it that you take it for granted. So what's happening in a lot of these situations, this is not my situation. My wife is a black woman. Okay? So understand that right there now. But I'm going to tell you as a black man, for the most part, it is totally different when you date outside your race. Them women of them other race treat black men on the surface. Now, a lot of times they could be like a devil in a blue dress, like my daddy used to use the term from the movie. But on the surface, they will take and treat a black man like a prized possession, like a king. Like, what do you want for breakfast? What do you want for lunch? What do you want for dinner? Oh, what do you want now? Oh, you want some more? Oh, you want this in the morning? Oh, you want this in the afternoon? Oh, you want this in the night? Like, the world going on? Like, I dated outside my race. Giving me all kind of money. Let me hold a car. I mean, the best gifts. You know, went from $50 gifts to $500 gifts. I was like, what? And so amongst black men, a lot of black men, they like, boy, over here, boy, the gifts be better over here. Hey, boy, that on the microphone, boy, money. Hey, boy, business investment. Hey, let me hold a car. Hey, bought me a car. But then, as a black woman, you grew up with Negro. Man, if you don't get out my face, man, if you don't start trying me, man, if you. And so it ain't got nothing to do with you. It just literally because it's an unfair fight. Because this woman over here spoiling him, letting him cheat on her, letting him put hands on her, letting him cuss her out. So what's the alternative? For you to let him cheat on you and run all? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So if that means he's going to go and be with her and she's of another race, like the lady Chrissy Teigen, say her and John Legend slept together on the first night. So if he stayed with her because she rocked his world on the first night and he passed up on you as a black woman because you abstinent and you waiting until marriage, okay, that's his loss. You see what I'm saying? And I'm just using that as an example, not saying that's what happened, but she telling everybody, and then she telling all the business. That's another thing. It's like telling all the business. Like who care about that? What you telling us for? Yeah, we don't care when y'all slept together. But again, he could have been with a black woman, and the black woman could have been on his head. You want to come in like, you cheat? This piano? I'm dropping my remote. Y'all forgive me now. Y'all forgive me. I was trying to throw the piano. I was trying to throw John Legend piano. So she what? But then we don't know. With the woman telling all their business, talking about they slept together on the first night. We don't know what she was sucking on. We don't know if she sucking toe. We don't know if she cooking 3 meals a day. We don't know what she doing. So it's like, if he a grown boy, or if this man looking for a subservient woman that's just going, first night, here you go, here go money. Here go money for your business. Hey, come live off me. Come live off me, off my credit, in my apartment, in my house. Hey, let me make you a partner in my business. It's a lot of women of other races that's so infatuated with men of color that they will give anything, do anything. So that's not even a fair comparison, because if you're not willing to just lay on your back and compromise your self-worth, then he wasn't in your dating pool anyways. So what you mad about? Don't block your blessings being mad at a man who not even on your level. You ought to be looking at these men you ought to be looking at these men of color who dating a woman of another race just for her race. I'm not talking about the ones who they met a woman of another race or a lighter complexion and just hit it off. I'm talking about they went and sought her out because of her skin color. Don't lose sleep over that. Stop angering yourself over that because he's not even worth your time. He's not even on your level. And so what you got to understand is a lot of this is above us. A lot of this colorism, puppet mastery. This put in through the music, through the media. This stuff that we don't even fully understand. So you mad with these men when these men don't even understand themselves. Men don't even know why they dating, who they dating, why they with, who they with. They don't even understand why they hate themselves. They don't understand why they hate their complexion. And it's not just men. It's women too. It's women too. It's a lot of black women that are disgusted with black men, but don't even take into consideration why the black men are the way they are. And a lot of black women say, oh, you got to date outside of your race. You got to date outside your race. So black men do it. So you just going to do it just because black men do it? But a lot of women doing it ain't got nothing to do with black men. They just saying, I don't want no black man. I want a white man because he treat me way better. Well, he might. But why do he want you? Are you a fantasy? Are you his museum art? Why he want you? You want him? Okay, all right. But why do you want him? Do you want him solely because you tired of being mistreated by black men? Okay. All right, that's your choice. So sometimes it go the other way around. So the thing about it is, this is what we got to get to. You have to know you. And you got to stop letting other people's choices determine how you're going to feel about yourself. If a woman I think is beautiful, go and choose a white man, God bless you. God bless you. You want a cookie? Here go a cookie. There you go. All right, I'm not finna feel less about myself. I'm not finna get mad at you, sister, because you want you a white man, because you want you a Hispanic man, because you want you an Italian. All right, go ahead. You want you an Asian? Go right ahead. God bless you. I'm going to get who for me. And that's the thing, like, y'all getting mad by who somebody else chose. When you got to get what's for you. So when you mad at this man right here, that's not even your man, that's not even on your level. He's not even on your level intellectually, but you let his decision on who he chose to marry and promote make you mad. So now you salty, now you mud-faced it, bump into your husband, and now you sizing your husband up because you mad at what these men done chose for a wife. When you could have been like, hey, more power to you. God bless you. I understand some of the choices you making. You don't even know why you making the choices. I understand that the powers that be got you making some of the choices you making. God bless you, brother. I remember my homeboy who got a white girlfriend, and he said a black lady walking out the store and said to him, I hate you, black man. That's a misplacement of energy. Why are you hating him? Why you hating him? Because of his choice. Me personally, I know he didn't even want her for her color. He wasn't even trying to date. They just happened to meet in their workplace and hit it off. He was so hesitant for so long, and they just happened to mesh. And it had nothing to do with color. Every woman he had been with before that was as dark as him. He is all the way dark. His mama is dark skinned. It literally was an organic meeting. He didn't choose her because of her race. But now this woman over here angry and mad at him for that. And now she blocking her blessing because her husband was 2 steps behind her. But now she done showed that attitude. Now her black husband like, oh, I'm about to holler at you, but now you done took your head out on this random man. Never mind. Hey, I got to go. God bless you.